Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute, salute, salute. Knicks Real Talk pregame preview. Knicks spraying the Hornets Nets. Knicks and Charlotte Hornets at MSG at 7:30 at the world most famous arena. We're gonna go down there. MSG is hit the Knicks and win 5 in a row and get it popping. Playing good basketball lately, man. We're gonna break into it, get it all down there, man. Get all the injury report, everything, break it down, and talk about the game and all the other Knicks news, man. I got my partner crying right here with me, KJ Events. My man Shot Powell, I know he's feeling under the weather a little bit. He might be in it, but he might not. But if not, we'll hold it down for him. But salute, KJ. What's good, brother?
That's right. Thanks, Devon. Get better, Shy. Feel better. Hey, Devon, we here another day. Another W tonight. We got just strive for something. We fight for something right now, and let's just go down. And we going down swing. We not giving up, and that's all we want to see. So let's go New York tonight.
Yeah, real talk. Yo, salute to the chat, man. Salute to my man Big Tad, Valax Prime Sports, Jarvis in the building, man. Salute to you. Hope everybody had a good day today, man. And ready to get in here with us, man, and get it popping, man. Just talk some Knicks, man. Yeah, man. We it's almost at the end of the season, man. It's winding down, man. It's gonna be after this 5 games left, man. So it's been pretty fast. Seemed like a long but fast season to me. So we're gonna get into all that. Yo, Chop Low, salute to Chop Low, peace to Supreme Sister Law, my brother Chop Low, salute, long time, long Steve fam. Salute to you though. Yeah, man, it's KJ, the season winding down now, man. We're gonna be kind of running right here, kind of crazy after this week. Wonder what we're gonna do. But Knicks Real Talk will stay in the building all season long. We're gonna bring you content at the drop, man. Get ready for summer league. Get ready for the draft, the playoffs. We won't be in it, but we be here talking Knicks though for sure. But it's all good, man. I'm looking forward to the game tonight. LaMelo Ball and them invading the Garden. Hopefully we beat them the last time in Charlotte to start the winning streak. Actually, last time we played them in Charlotte, that's when we started that this 4-game winning streak. After losing to the Jazz, man, we went out there and played real good basketball. The youngins had it popping in that joint, man. It was really fun to watch, though. So we trying to continue that maturation and everything. And RJ Barrett, Alec Burks killing it. Everybody, playing well. So hopefully we can go there tonight, KJ, and do the same thing, man, and walk out with a victory to give us like 5, 6 in a row.
Yeah, this should be a real fun game, man. Their young talent versus our young talent. Let's see who comes out better. I believe, and I'll take our young talent all day. But it's great to see like some of the guys like LaMelo Ball that was drafted higher in the scale compared to Deuce McBride and Grimes and Sims of that nature. Because now you can see, like, all right, this is what we're working with right now. And the last time we won because of that young team. So let's see exactly what's going to happen, D, tonight with that team, that Charlotte team. But Charlotte is fighting right now. Charlotte is fighting for a playoff position. Like we're right there. We're 4.5 games back, and I think we're 5 games back of Charlotte. So Charlotte will have to lose all the games. They've got to win. Same thing. So again, it's another fight game. No give up. We got to. Regardless of what's going on with Julius Randle, we got to step up, and it's important to see what's going to happen tonight with Julius Randle's game. Is Tibbs going to play him a lot? That's what I'm really looking forward to tonight, Divine, to see exactly how the Knicks going to play him, and how is he going to react to the playing. If he's not going to play as much, like what's if he's going to be sitting on the end of the bench. So let's look into this. Really, what I want from these last couple games from us is to look at 2 things: look at how the team overall plays, and look at the team plays with Julius Randle, because that's going to determine. We got into it last night about determining who's going to be, who's not going to be here, but that's really going to be a strong case of how he plays at the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm really interested to see that as well. What's the fan reaction going to be tonight? What is his posture going to be? What is his posture going to be? His body movement going to be tonight? Is he locked in or is he tapped out? I mean, it was interesting to see. But Evan Fournier had personal issues earlier today. He might be in the lineup, and he might not. So they don't have him on the injury report. But he was questionable for the day's game because of some personal reasons earlier, personal matters, excuse me. So we'll see how that goes once we get there, man. But overall, man, you know what? Season been, peaks and valleys. But I'm satisfied with what's going on, man. I know obviously we don't even get into playing, so be it. We continue to let these young guys grow. But what I have been seeing, I'm kind of happy about the maturation of the guys playing. Obi Toppin getting more minutes, producing. Quickly the point guard coming into his own. He's really playing good ball, man. Quentin Grimes with a knee injury set him back. But he was on the cusp of playing good ball as well. So I think Alex Burks is playing phenomenal. RJ Barrett doing his thing. But I'm happy with everything, KJ. But like tonight, it's gonna be interesting, man. Like I said, LaMelo Ball coming in the Garden. RJ Barrett gonna be in the building. Terry Rozier. We're just going to see how this is going to go. Mitchell Robinson playing good ball lately. I think he should have a good game against Plumlee and them up in the front. So I'm not too concerned about that. But it's almost. I'm just really interested to see how we're gonna keep going these last 5 games. I hope Ted really take the leash off these guys and let them young boys just get and run it out, man. And look forward to training camp and all that going ahead, man. But we got a lot of things we got to deal with over the summer. We talking about hopefully we can create some cap space. Maybe we can deal with some trades. We got the draft coming up, so we got a lot of things to circumvent. There's gonna be circumventing around the organization, man. Big offseason for the New York Knicks brass, man. We got to see what they're gonna do, KJ. See if they're gonna really get in there and make this team better. And I do like the direction we're going with the young talent that we have. So let's see if they're gonna be able to even go further, bring some more in here, or just make the team better. And then hopefully don't have the same problem we had this year with injuries and everything going into 2022-23 and see how it goes.
Right, and also it starts with our young leader. And that young leader, our next leader up is R.J. Barrett. Let's see how he reacts to it now. The pressure now. Sometimes we gotta be careful what we ask for too as well. Now, R.J. Barrett is young, 21, 22 years old, right? We're asking this man for a big task. Say Julius Randle not hit. We're asking for a big task. So what I want to see from him now, I want to start seeing his leadership now. Let's see how he is with the ball. Let's see how he is on the bench. Let's see how he is when shots are not going in. We were asking for a big ask for a young man in this world, and we all been through that before at a young age. I couldn't imagine if I was 21, 22 years old, asking to be in charge of an NBA team at that age. So let's be careful. So let's see how he reacts to it too as well. Because he don't know what's going to go on with Julius. But you know what? The Knicks are entrusting him. So it's really important for his development to see how he reacts and how others react with him. Because let me tell you, Devon, it could be one of them things where say RJ has a team next year, right? No more Julius. Now we're all, as a Knicks fan base, we're looking at RJ now, regardless of your age. Okay, we gave it to you. This is what you got. This is what you want. It's your team now, RJ. What if RJ does the same thing next year? I mean, less thing. He's not doing what he's doing, and then it's like, oh, here you go again. So again, for me, guys, we got to pick a direction and just go with that one direction, and however it may come, we go with it. But tonight, hey, again, to me, RJ has to take over tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of feeling that piece with R.J. Barrett just due to the fact he already been through slumps before in his career. He already been through it. You know what I mean? And he handled New York City real well, man. As an NBA player in the Knicks organization, he handled it real well. He don't get too up on himself. He don't get too down on himself. He stays even keel. Let's just hope that But think about, for him to be here 3 years since 18 years old, he been through it. Been through it the first year with the 21 win season. He been through it with the 41 win season. He been through it again. So he kind of handled himself with all these ups and downs, the peaks and valleys. He have handled himself with a lot of class, a lot of dignity. Go out there every day and work hard, But I do believe in him, man. I believe in his character, what he's made of. So I mean, you know what? The thing about it, when you going bad and the fans start reacting a certain way, stay even keel. And I like that about R.J. Barrett. I think that was the detriment to Julius Randle. He didn't stay even keel. You know what I mean? He just he stayed even keel. He maintained but now that you look at his growth, 13 points a game, 17 points a game. This year, 20 points a game. I don't see that going the other way. I don't see R.J. Barrett falling off. I see him ascending, getting better because he's just that type of guy. And I think what I like about him with the young core that we got, they stay to respect RJ. Obi Toppin and Quickly, all the guys, they see what the man trying to do, and they really, really respect the man. And I'm happy about that. So if he can continue striding, KJ, and I think he's gonna be all right. But we got our partner with us, man. He finally made it in the building, man. I think he all right. We thought you might have been out because of sick leave.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
Going down, man. Salute KJ. Salute Divine. What's going on, chat?
Yeah, man. You doing all right?
I'm a little better. I'm okay.
Okay. That's what's
you
up.
back, Shaw. I heard you had some of that ginger, man. You had some of that Nick ginger last night,
yeah,
brother.
Man.
Good,
yeah, man.
Yeah, real talk, man. But yeah, we were just chopping up with the R.J. Barrett situation. But I'm good with that, Shaw and KJ. I think the young man gonna be all right. Like I said, he the way he's built, You know what I mean? And think about it, somebody who's been in a high profile situation coming out of Duke, he already know what it is to be in the big stage. You know, he played at Duke and everything, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of feeling that, you know, he understand all this stuff. And then he had a father and mother who play professional sport. They understand this business. Father played at St. John's, you know, they understand the business. And I'm quite sure he getting a lot of good advice from a lot of good people. So let's hope that he can deal with the highs and lows. But I'm excited though. I have no problem with RJ Barrett, man. I think he's gonna do what he's gonna do. I think he's the type of guy that just get better all the time. Shot powers, you know, and I think he's gonna be good to go.
Yeah, big ups to RJ. Let's see what RJ gonna do. He's been through already the highs and lows of the New York Knicks team, with the fan base, with the team, and I believe that he'll elevate his game. I believe he's a quote unquote leader type style player. Like you said, coming from Duke, one of the bigger organizations in college. I think he'll be just fine. I think he'll fit in just fine. I think he'll pull everybody together and flourish for the team, the New York Knicks. I have no problem with RJ Barrett taking the lead, taking the helm, taking the reins, and leading this team into a new future.
Yep. Hey, KJ, and even let's hypothetically say they're bringing another guy, and that you know, because you know the other guy going to realize, like, you know what, RJ Barrett got drafted by the Knicks. He's been around for 3 years, you know, and so going to his fourth year, I mean, you know, I think they're going to see what he is, man, and realize that he is the face of this thing right now. Probably if Randall don't be here, which I really think that's not going to happen, but I don't think he will be here, but. I think they understand who RJ is. And I think RJ understand the magnitude of what he's dealing with. He understands the magnitude of what he's being thrown into. You know, but like I said, I think he built for it. And I really do, KJ. So I think I'm looking for a good thing from RJ Barrett moving forward. I think next year RJ Barrett be 23, 24 game all-star.
Right. So my thing to that, Devon, is I'm looking at the Knicks current roster. Egos. Guys have egos, but they're bringing guys with not flamboyant egos, you know, and that's kind of what a Knicks young core is. Everybody works hard. They don't have big egos. Look at Grimes. Look at McBride. Look at Simpson. Even though they're young, we haven't seen that side of them. Look at Quickly. Look at Toppin. Look at their egos. From what we see on the court, I mean, we're not with them every day, but from what we see on the court, look at their egos. Look at Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is funny, right? He's probably one of the funniest Knicks, so they say, but his ego is bright, is big. Then you figure Julius Randle's ego. You know, we thumbs down. We seeing all the accolades sitting at the end of the bench, slamming the ball. But so what I'm saying that to say is the Knicks want to bring in guys. The egos are not as big as everybody's on one even kill. You know, everybody sharing the ball. They want guys like that, and that's the type of guys that they need on this team. High energy guys. And RJ Barrett. My thing with him is that the test is going to see. Again, what is he going to do at the end of this year, right? How is he going to play? And then beginning next year, to see is he going to have that year where in the beginning of this year he was a little off, then he step up? We need that whole consistency because become a star every single night. You got to be a star. Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, AI. Can he get to that level of play? And I believe he can. Again, Devon, you said it yesterday. RJ Barrett wasn't known for shooting the basketball when he coming out of Duke. He's a workhorse. He's in that gym. Just like IQ is, just like Obi Toppin is. So these guys are working, and that's kind of what I really want to see. What can RJ Barrett become?
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, I can guarantee you this. When the season's over, I'll tell you what RJ Barrett gonna do. He's gonna take a couple of weeks off, then he's gonna hit the gym. That's how he roll. He's gonna go in that gym, work on that free throw shooting, work on that mid-range game, and most likely work on some more defense techniques and that three-point shot. He come back into this thing next year, man. He's gonna be hard to stop. See, that's one thing when you a triple threat, when you can score inside, outside, like Method Man say, up and down, hitting you from every angle. You know, that's where he got to get to, and I think he will. Once he get to that point where he can hit the three-point consistent. The lane is gimme, and then like I said, I really believe that the ref's gonna be like, okay, you know, this cat is really, you know, it is who he is. So next year you're gonna see a lot of different things for him. The referee's gonna say he ain't no rookie no more, or whatever. He's an experienced dude, and we got to give him his respect. Because see, now they see him putting up the numbers, so you can only imagine what they're gonna see next year. And he just starting to get the call like last game. He was getting them calls. Finally, RJ was going to the basket shot powers, and the rest was giving them the calls against Chicago. So I think they starting to realize that you can't punish him because he's strong. You know how they used to do Shaq. It ain't Shaq fault because he's strong. The other guy was weak. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna punch you, I'm gonna punch you. But that don't mean I fouled you though. And then even if you fouled me, just because I'm strong don't mean that you shouldn't give me a foul call. I don't think that's fair. So I think he's gonna be on that plane. I look at RJ Barrett. I kid you not. Maybe not the career, but what he could mean is almost like LeBron James. He didn't have a jump shot coming into the league, not thorough, and he gets downhill. LeBron James was getting downhill. And he was strong enough to get the bump and the foul, hit the free. He wasn't even a good free throw shooter coming into the league. So, but you know what? Look at where he at now, and I think that's what RJ Barrett is, Shad K. I think that's where he at now. I think RJ Barrett in 2 years, but think about it. 4 years from now, he only be 25 years old. That's for me. That's scary, bro. 21. You doing that at 21 now?
Yeah.
Wait till you get to 25. I mean, man, it's like. So I think he will and make it happen. I'm really confident about that.
Yeah. I have big hopes and dreams for RJ Barrett. I think especially with the crew that he's rolling with right now, man. I believe this young core all wants to do better for themselves. They're all gonna go off in the off season to have a really productive off season. And all of them are hungry. All of them, like you said, are like gym rats. They like to go into the gym. They like to try to perfect their game. And with them doing that individually, collectively, they'll be a much better team on the court. And with this young core right now, man, these guys that we could possibly see for the next 3 to 5 years, I think we got some brewing here in New York right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely confident. I'm confident in where we're going, and I think we're gonna be all right. That's for sure, man. So we just got to keep it going and keep it popping, and I think the Knicks gonna be fine. That's one thing I'm definitely not concerned about is that. I think these guys they know what to do, and they going hard at it, man. And so salute to them for always putting the work in, and I think they're gonna be fine. So we'll see how that goes. But on another note. Evan Fournier tonight might not play. He might play. He was questionable today earlier because of personal reasons. So if he don't play, then that means you got somebody else moving into the starting lineup tonight. Will that be Emmanuel Quickly or somebody like that? And we'll see, man. You know what? Let's get that out the way. We can get back into everything. But let's start the starting lineup for the New York Knicks tonight. We got Alex Burks, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson projected. Anything can change on that front. Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, P.J. Washington, and Marshall Plumlee. For the Knicks, same typical injuries. Nerlens Noel, Derrick Rose, Quentin Grimes. Obviously, Cam Reddish is out for the season. Kemba Walker's no longer with the team, and that before it was questionable. Other than that, Hornets got Gordon Hayward out with his ankle. He's out. So other than that, man, I think you know what, KJ, we just gotta go there and play, man. I'd love to get that win tonight. It'd be nice. Get that win tonight, and really be nice to see, man. These young boys playing hard for the Knicks, man, and the fan base is still in the arena. They still in there packing the arena. Seeing these young guys and the beloved Knicks players, man, because we got some beloved fans, man. We always hear 82 games, no matter how bad and what the record is, the Knicks fan is always in the building. And I think that's a beautiful thing, man. When you got a fan base that's so loyal. And I'm happy with the loyalty because I think they're going to have a really good thing to look forward to going ahead with this young team. Put in a piece or two here, like you said, and next thing you know, just let it roll. So I think it's interesting. But tonight, we got to slow down LaMelo Ball, obviously. Terry Rozier could get it popping every now and then. But I like the way our defense been playing, so I'm not concerned about tonight at all. And I think Mitchell Robinson will have a game just like he had against Chicago. I don't think Miles Plumlee, whichever one it is, can do anything with Mitchell Robinson. So I think that could be good.
You know what, Devon? When everybody was worried about how the kids is going to look at the beginning of the year, the kids are looking great right now because those kids are not going to slow down. Normally, if it was an older veteran team, we might say, man, I'm taking a night off. These kids are not taking a night off, and this is what I'm looking forward to. These guys are coming to play. It's 82 games in the season. all 82 games with that young core we got, they're going to play regardless. Even if there's no chance, I still believe they're going to try to win. So they still in it. So this is what I'm looking for tonight. Seeing that young core play. I'm looking for a lineup of Sims, IQ, Obi Toppin, McBride, and Grimes as they play. I'm looking for that lineup tonight. I want to see that lineup tonight because that's the summer league lineup that we had in the lineup. That summer league lineup got refined this year. Let's see that lineup with RJ Barrett here. And these kids are not, what I'm saying is Devon and Shaw, these kids are not slowing down and they give us a punch chance to win. So of course we got, anytime you got that team out there with the others, I'm happy. But the key is, what is Julius Randle going to do? How is he going to react tonight? If he's not playing right, is Tibbs going to sit him down? What is he going to do with him? Because any little thing now, the media is going to pick up. We're going to look up, and any little thing Julius Randle does now that is wrong, we're going to run him out of here.
Yeah,
and he knows that.
Yeah. That's the elephant in the room right now, man. That's the big thing in the room right now. The elephant in the room is Julius Randle. But you know what? He just got to go out there tonight and be professional. Handle's been to play ball like he's been playing. Ain't nothing you can do now. It is what it is. The only thing you can do is go out there, work hard, and put in your work. And I guarantee we have a good game. He won't hear the noise. You won't hear the noise. He go out there and play ball. He go out there and drop 20 and 10 or whatever. He won't hear the noise. But if his game ain't on and he doing things that's a detriment to the team, he probably going to hear it. But you know what? Like I said, you get yourself in, you get yourself out of it. You know what I mean? So, but I'm looking forward to it just being a normal, basic, fun game at the Garden at MSG. We're gonna go in there and get it popping and try to beat these boys, Shaw Power, because we've been playing good and we win tonight. I know everybody got they thoughts about the draft lottery, what position they want us to win, and like Tibbs and them saying, I'm with him, man. That's one thing I'm with him, man. I don't believe in just losing just to be losing. Nobody should never take that mentality. I don't care who you are. I'm going to lose just to lose to gain something. Now, if you bring that type of culture into something, it's going to be that culture. And I don't think the Knicks is built like that. So I think they're going to go out there and fight hard tonight, make the fans feel good. Because the Knicks fans want to see them win. You know what I mean? Shaw Powell, and that's the bottom line. They don't come there to see losing basketball, and I don't think they don't want to see that. So I think they're going to go out there and play hard tonight.
Yeah, the one thing I'm looking forward to seeing tonight is pace. These guys got to come out here tonight and run a little bit. I think the last time that we played this team, we were running with great pace. We were getting the ball up and down the court. We were finding people on the and for open shots and stuff like that. And I think the quicker we play, the more tired that the Hornets will get. I think we tired them. I think we played them hard. We played them as the Hornets being a running team. We kind of ran them out of the game. We kept attacking. We kept pushing the ball. We kept making moves towards the hole, and we kind of ran them out the hole. So if we keep pushing the ball, and maybe we could tire them out and wear them out a little bit, and do what we did to them the last game. The thing with Randle tonight, I hope Randle has his earphones in his ear where he can't hear the crowd, some tissue in his ears or something like that, because it's going to be something to watch for Randle tonight with all 19 plus in the Garden tonight, hooting, hollering, hearing all the all the stuff that's going around about Julius and how what he may have said or how things took place and stuff like that. He is going to have his head in the game and his heart on his shoulder. I mean, his heart on his sleeve, because tonight every little thing that happens, good or bad, can tell what the team. I mean, could tell what the crowd is going to say and do about Julius Randle. I still believe that we are some rich New York Knicks fans, and I'm pretty sure majority of the people have logged on to some type of Twitter, Instagram, all these chats on YouTube, all these podcasts, or like us, and they heard all the clamorings of what took place. So I believe Julius just have to go out there and be a professional. He goes out there and be a professional, plays his game, does his usual, try to limit the turnovers and score some baskets tonight. play some hard defense. You probably won't hear a cricket from out of the crowd tonight. But on the other hand, if he goes out there and he misses 2 3-pointers, you know how us Knicks fans are, man. He goes out there, he turns the ball over, he misses 2 3-pointers, and here comes the New York fans talking about Julius Randle. And I just hope he can fixate on the game and not the surroundings. If he could do that tonight, and winning cures all. If he goes out there and he can win, you probably won't hear so much of the hoopla from the crowd. And one thing we have to do tonight is run some pace. We run some pace. I think we tire these guys out. We can get another win.
Yeah, real talk, man. I think definitely that's what we have been doing lately. Better playing with pace. Facts, D-Rob, no guts, no glory. Facts. We've been playing with a lot of pace. Yeah, Will, thank you. Yeah, Fourier is available, so he'll be there tonight. But you know what? Like you said, just block out the noise. Just play your game. I mean, it is no matter what. You get paid to be an NBA player. You go there, you put your time in. Sticks and stones to break your bone. Words will never hurt you. Don't even worry about all that. Now, don't worry about the booing and all that. Ain't or that. You shouldn't let that affect you. You know what I mean? Or we should do it, but don't make you weak, make you stronger. If somebody going at me a certain way, it's gonna make me more enticed to show and prove that I'm worthy of what I'm worthy of. So and hopefully he gotta have that mindset like they once they know what. See, like even that game, like I think when he did like this here, it wasn't wrong with nothing wrong with that. He did it the wrong way. He just let his actions show and prove. You know what I mean? Just let your game do the talking. Then that shut everything up. So let's hopefully he did block out the noise, man. He going there have a good game tonight. If he's gonna be in the starting lineup, come on, Julius Randle, give us your 20 and 10, brother. You know what I mean? And then that's it. And hopefully we get the win. That's all. You know what I mean? And that's all you can do, KJ. Just go in there and play Knicks basketball. But I do want to get into the Alex Burks thing right quick. He's been playing some good ball for the Knicks, man. I mean, you know what's interesting? All the Knicks, the beginning of the year, because the way this new team was, even RJ, Fournier, all of them, because it was a brand new team, brand new players. It took them a while to gel. It took them longer than sooner. So for them to all play in the way they're playing now, you just wish they could have been a couple of games ago, maybe a couple of months ago. Maybe we be in a 5th, 6th spot right now. You never know, maybe higher. But unfortunately, he is playing some good basketball though. I mean, he really is, man. I'm hoping that even next year, I was on the fence with him. But if we could bring this energy off the bench and help them young guys next year, different one of the guys I don't have a problem with KJ bringing back next year because he is really, really playing some good ball for the Knicks.
Hey, that was a good point, Devon. And it goes to show you how much we miss D Rose and Nerlens Noel, healthy Nerlens Noel and a healthy D Rose, because again, a big part of our bench was Alec Burke last year on that bench. We called him fourth quarter Burke last year, and to me, he had to get acclimated into that first lineup this year in the middle of the season. So he was fighting with that. So we expected the same Alec Burke off the bench or even better. And we got a sample size, but now I think he got used to it. And now we're seeing the Alec Burke of last year. Again, it's interesting with him. Again, his contract is 3 years, $30 million. It'd be 2 years, $20 million left on that contract. I mean, it's one of them what ifs. Like, what if something happens and we could bring him off the bench? He'll be a nice player to return back to the Knicks. But another team may want him. So he's one of those on the fence players, right? Devon and Shaw. So absolutely, I agree with you. Alec Burke, he's durable, hasn't missed that many games at all since he's been a Knick. So I would take him back on his team. But again, it's one of them things. Like, it's a what if. What direction is the Knicks going to go in with him if he's going to be around or not? But I do like Alec Burke though. Devon.
Yeah, real talk. For me, with him is actually it's really only 10 because that second year the team option. So he really probably only got 1 year, 10 million instead of 20 because they do have a team option on him in that last year. So Knicks don't even got to pick him up. But if you can get the other guys we talking about in that mix, Shaw Powers, like the Cam Reddish and these guys, I just think Alex Burks he's a consummate pro. He's a journeyman. One thing about being a journeyman, you've been through so many. You traveled. You know what I mean, and you understand that. Everything ain't guaranteed. Like, you ain't guaranteed to be nowhere, but when you do it, you be a professional coming in and play ball anyway. And, guys, one thing we might got to realize, this is their job. This is their job. When you go to work, you got to put your best foot forward, or, and I think that's what these guys do. Alex Burks kind of worked with his hard hat, his lunch pail. You know, he go on that construction site, which is the MSG Madison Square Garden basketball court, and then he started building stuff. You know what I mean? And I like what he's doing, man. I just think he's a good asset to us. And I think that him coming off that bench back at his natural spot next year could be really nice for the Knicks, for sure.
I believe for the players that we're talking about right now that are possibly moved in this offseason, I believe that Burks is one of those players that I think they may keep a hold of. I think he's set a precedence here in New York with the way he plays, the way he's a committed veteran, how he gets out there with heart and he's real gritty. He has heart, and I think out of all of the players that we mentioned, about the 6 or 7 players that we mentioned, I believe he would be one of the guys that the Knicks may keep a hold of. With that being said, I like Burks, man. Burks comes out every game. He may not have some of the best games. Sometimes some of the defense that he plays great defense, but sometimes you see him get a little scattered with his defense and stuff like that. But once he gets in a groove, once he puts that ball into the basket, once you give him a pass in the fourth quarter, you almost evidently think that he's going to be he's going to hit his shot. And I put a lot of heart. I put a lot of heart into Burks. I think that he will be probably one of the guys that they try to retain this year and let him finish out his agreement with the 3 years for the $30 million. I think he'll be back next year. For the other guys like a Noel, for Noel, the Kembas, the Tajes of the world, and D Rose, I think those guys are the guys that they may look to swing, and I think they may try to keep a hold of Burks just for him to be that constant veteran on the second unit that can bring a team together.
Yeah, real talk, KJ. I like that dude because for me, he made me tell what I like about him. He's like our RJ Barrett. He stay even keel. They always even kill. You never see him get too up, never see him get too down. He let his game do the talking. You know what I mean? And I like Alex Burks for that reason, man. Because sometimes you got to have the posture, you got to have the confidence, and you also got to have a certain type of mental makeup, not to let a bad game get to you, not to let it, and don't get too psyched over a good game. That it's your job. You know what I mean? It's your job to go out there and entertain the fan base and win games. And I think he does a good job of it. He doesn't get too high or too low. He just stay even keel. He go out there and put his work in, and I think whether the results may be, he always playing, man. I like that about him. So but like I said, Knicks were going to trade him at the deadline. He not guaranteed to be here. They definitely was going to trade him. You know what I mean? So him and Cam Reddish, I'm glad that didn't happen. Now that gave the Knicks more time to evaluate him. You know what I mean? And Cam Reddish too. I'm glad that deal fell through. Because now they got a chance to reevaluate him and Cam Reddish in the offseason and then make some decisions down the line, KJ. So, but I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's important that the young guys are playing well, but you got to give Alex Burks his flowers, man. He's been balling. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, and you don't want to leave him out, man, because he's been playing some good ball for us lately, man. And now I think that's what it is. A Frank Matos salute. I think it's the same lineup as always. Evan Fournier will be back in the gym tonight. He had a personal issue this morning. He didn't go to shoot around today. But then I got the report that he will be out there, so he probably going to be the same start lineup as usual. But salute to my man Frank Matos, real talk. KJ, I know you got something that you wanted a segment you want to get into.
I just want Alex Burke is a good locker room guy too. So you guys might have changed my mind. I know we talked about trades before with Alex Burke, but we do need a veteran's presence in our locker room with these young guys, and we can't expect RJ Barrett to lead. I mean, if he does, he couldn't, but we still need that veteran presence. So I wouldn't mind Alex Burke if he comes back. But yeah, so I want to get into a segment called Back in the Time. And basically what Back in the Time is, what if we would have drafted this player? How would the Knicks look today? How much our franchise would have changed? So I'm going to take everybody back to the year 2006, right? The New York Knicks had the 20th pick. Real quick, Devon, who do you think the Knicks picked at the 20th pick in 2006?
2006 20th pick.
That's a good
Wow,
question.
that's that. I would have to ask Siri on Google about
I
that.
had to Google that.
Shy, how about you, Shy? Come on.
20th pick
Can't Google it real quick.
in 2006.
David Lee.
Huh?
David Lee.
No.
Okay, well I can't
All
remember
right.
that. Right.
Yeah,
So the pick was Ronaldo Balkman,
oh man. Sheesh.
right?
Wonder.
We picked the Ronaldo Balkman, right? And do you guys know who the very next pick was after Ronaldo Balkman? Rajon Rondo.
Wow.
So the thing is, if the New York Knicks would have picked Rajon Rondo in 2006 as point guard, do we believe the New York's franchise of guards would have been changed for a very long time on the way we drafted? What do you guys think about that?
It's hard for me to say because Rondo really had a good situation in Boston with KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, them guys. He was drafted into a good situation. I don't know how that would have made it because we wasn't drafting well. We didn't had a good front office then. Isaiah Thomas was going through all the peaks and valleys. And I don't know if he would have made a difference in moving the franchise forward just due to the fact the way the franchise was in the front office. I just think we was in a lot of how would I say, not so good situations in the front office.
Turmoil.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I mean he probably could have, but at the same time, it's hard to say, KJ, because we were going through so much stuff, man. You know what I mean? After 1999 and coming in 2000, once we got out of that Jeff Van Gundy era, things wasn't never the same. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say.
Yeah, I'm just saying because Leslie, I went over a lot of the picks that we picked, and the biggest thing was guard. We didn't have guards, so I wanted to focus this on guards. So, we talk about guards, and also Kyle Lowry was the other guard. Mm-hmm. How different would Kyle Lowry would have looked on the Knicks back then, on 2006? And both of them guys are still in the league now. That's one of the most important parts. Them guys are still playing right now to this day.
Facts.
And we talked about we talked about we could have had Rajon Rondo this year. We could have had Kyle Lowry this year. And we talking about guys that was drafted in 2006 that's still somewhat producing on teams now, especially that Kyle Lowry. So it's like, man, can you imagine if these guys were Knicks back then to where they at right now? How different? So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Shop. I think it could have made a difference, but I think the biggest one was the 2008-9 when we my man fell one slot before us, Steph Curry.
Yeah, that was my next one. Hey, it's funny you say that. Oh, Shy, it's funny you say that because that was going to be my next one. But I know Shy got to go ahead and say something real quick.
No. I think the outlook of the team would have probably looked a little different. I think they would have had a different way of going forward if we would have picked up Lowry or if we'd have picked up Rondo. I think both of them are, as we've seen, they're both great point guards, and they're to put the greatness on their name. They're still in the league to this day from 2006. So I think if we could have bagged one of them, man, our direction would have probably went a different way.
Right. No, hey Sam. Also, the guys. This segment is called Back in the Time. These are people that we could have had drafted here instead of the personnel name. So that segment. We drafted Ronaldo Balkman in 2007. I think Sam just coming in. He had a question up there. And we picked Ronaldo Balkman over Rajon Rondo and Kyle Lowry. So the next one was 2009. That's the next one. We had the ninth pick in 2009. And guess who did we pick in 2009, fellas? Jordan Hill, right? We picked Jordan Hill. Now, we could have traded down for Steph Curry, right? Traded up. That would have set our franchise up for years to come, right? Again, with that draft, right? You had Drew Holiday and Jeff Teague as guards, and we picked Jordan Hill. Now we all know how different would the Knicks would have looked if they would have traded up to get Steph Curry. But if we would have got Jeff Teague or Drew Holiday at the time, how do you guys think the Knicks would have picked in 2009?
I think it would have made it. I think it would have been better when we drafted. And depending on who was the point guard on the roster at the time of when we would have drafted him, I don't know who the point guard for the Knicks was. I can't think that far back.
2009, I could tell you.
Yeah, 2009 and 8. Whoever was the point guard, I would have to see who the point guard was before we drafted them. Because I think we was coming out of Marbury and these guys.
Duhan was the point guard in
Duhan,
2009.
Yeah, Duhan coming out of Duke, he was all right. You know, I mean, he guys got a Knick record for the most. I don't know, assists or something, 25, something like that. But yeah, I think I definitely would have took him and over Duhan though. So it probably would have been a different scenario to me.
Hey guys, the biggest upset was 2017.
Oh yeah, obviously.
We don't gotta say it. You guys already know that. That was recent.
Mm-hmm.
2017 was the biggest upset, and that to me, Donovan Mitchell would have set this franchise on fire. And players, hey, guess what? Durant might have came here.
Right.
Durant might have said, "No, I'm coming to the Garden with Donovan Mitchell back then." We took Frank Ntilikina, and then of course 2018, we got Kevin Knox, but we gotta have Shay here. So that's just a little segment we wanted to run by and see how this Knicks thing. But again, it's one of those things, fellas, where these guys come out of college, they could look one way in college and be a total bust in the NBA. It's just a projection. We don't know. And this is why I said this, because I believe this year the Knicks are not going to draft. I think they're going to trade all their picks away.
I think
majority of them to get these players in here that we need to change this franchise around.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that in a sense. I really can. And I'm going to say depending on who on the board too. Might depend. All depends where we draft at. Depends where they draft at. Because I think let's hypothetically say if you move Julius Randle and these other veterans, the franchise might say, you know what, we got a nice young core. We might decide to keep our pick and bring them in. But who knows? But I'm not sure. I can't say what they're gonna do. It all depends on what the offseason does. If they're gonna retain Julius Randle, they're gonna retain Fournier, Kemba Walker, all these guys. Because and I understand. I agree with y'all, guys. Because for a top 8-9 pick is worth about what $7-8 million.
Mm-hmm.
Cap hit. You know what I mean? So if they don't want to take a $7-8 million cap hit, they might not draft. They might trade the pick. You know what I mean? Whether they trying to relinquish cap, they trying to gain cap space. So they might say, you know what, move the pick down to like where Grimes is at and get. And I love that's what I think they smart about. They said instead of paying somebody $7, $8, $9 million. We'll take it down to the 25th pick, pay him $2 million and get what you got out of Grimes and McBride. So we definitely got to see, because there's going to be some free roster spots going on in New York. I really see that. So what direction they decide to do, I just hope that whatever they do, man, they do it for the it coincides with what we're trying to do now. And for the free agent market, like we talked about, I think the Donovan Mitchell of the world, I think, keep an eye on that. I keep an eye on that. I've seen some stuff out there about that. Keep an eye on stuff like that, man. Because I think them cats might. If they get bounced, I think it's a wrap. I think Paul George back with the Clippers. He dropped 34 last night. If them boys, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen too. Let's say the Clippers wind up getting in. I wouldn't doubt a Kawhi Leonard come back. He been shooting around, getting his game going, practicing. If the Clippers get in and Kawhi Leonard come back, and they got to play the Clippers, I think the Clippers beat Utah and send Donovan Mitchell home. Then the whole thing is shape up. So it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm dying to see how it's gonna pan out in the off season for it. But I think the Knicks just got to do their due diligence and focus on what we got here first. Bring that 10 young quarterback, shot power, them young. If you can, you don't have to put any of them in the trade to get a big piece. Bring them all back. Run it back, man, and pick and plug and take it from there. So I'm hoping that they, just keep these last 5 games, keep building and keep developing, and to get us excited about going into next year. Because you know what, 3 months from now, 4 months from now, we be right back at it for a season 5. So I think the Knicks is in a good spot, man. We just gotta keep building.
Yeah. I like you say, KJ. I believe a lot of these picks that we get may be trade bait for other teams. I believe to in order to try to move Evan Fournier, we might have to mass some first round pick or some second round picks to get him off of the roster. I also believe if we do decide to move off of Julius Randle, we may have to also add a couple of second round picks to sweeten up the deal to make him get to where he wants to go. So there's some things in this offseason that and then again there is some players around where we want to shoot for around the 12th to the 9th spot that may be available. I've been looking at this guy. I keep messing his name up, but Benedict.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his last name. I can't pronounce it. But
Man.
he looks like a pretty good 6'6", 6'7" style guard. He looks like something that we could possibly use a big guy that could play some defense. But overall, I think if we're making any moves and we're trying to strive for a big name point guard or something like that, if we don't decide to bring IQ to be that starting point guard this year, I think the trades that we have for this year and possibly next year will probably be packaged up with some of these guys that we're trying to move to get something that we want.
Yeah, I tell you, here's another thing where it makes sense for y'all, which I talk about as well, because I was watching my man the other night, Farian Hunt.
Yeah, man.
That boy athletic, bro. I seen that boy come out of the lane the other day and just, oh my God, he caught a body. I mean, that young man is he athletic, 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", him, Cam Reddish. Like I said, that's why I can also say, you know what, he on a two-way. It ain't like the Knicks signed him on a two-way, so he could possibly be up here next year. You know what I mean? So it's really interesting to see what they're gonna do with that pick. Like I said, because of the cap situation, they might not want to pay that money out to a draft pick that high unless he's in the top 4 or something. They say we got a choice. He's that good. He can make a difference. He might could be one of the guys that plug in there with RJ and these guys. So you never know. But I do agree with you guys that they might move on from them picks and bring in another player to go along with RJ and the rest of this core to get it popping. I don't have a problem with that because, like I said, you bring in the right player with RJ. I think you got two good players right there that can really come out every night and pretty much put up 20 a game. You know what I mean? That's all you need, and that's what made Randall so good, man. I mean, at least one thing about Randall, you knew he was coming out that night, putting up 20 and 10 or 20 and 11 or 30, whatever. It's just that but we need what we need as a fan base now. I mean, as a team, not the fan base, but we just need a consistent level of play every night. I want players who come in here. If you average 20 points a game, a year. Every night you're gonna get 20 points. I don't want to see nobody score 24 tonight. The next game they got 4 points. I'm done with that. If you can't maintain your level of play all day, every day, then and that's the only thing bothers me with the Fournier and these guys, certain guys. I mean, if you should be able to get buckets, if not only get buckets, at least contribute to winning. With other ways. Whether you ain't shooting the ball well, you got a lot of rebounds, you got assists. You playing good defense. You contributing to team winning, and because everybody ain't gonna be hot every night. I mean, like even tonight, if Julius Randle missed 5 shots, I don't care. He might come back in the second half, and knock down 10. That's not. But as long as he engaged, as long as he's playing defense, as long as he's rebounding, as long as he's passing the ball, getting the team involved, he's hustling. I don't care about the points too much because that happens. Every night you're not going to be able to drop 20, but when you're a certain type of player, you got to make sure you're playing winning basketball. And that's all I want to see. And I like with the young guy to playing winning basketball. You can't deny that. I mean, they 4-0, and the 2 games Randall wasn't there. Fournier had them 2 games. Randall not Fournier to have anything. One of them was like 10 points, one was 11. But they will contribute to winning. I like what the young guys are doing, KJ, and that's why I think that if you're gonna bring somebody in here, man, you got to bring guys in here who like on every given night they can get their buckets. And I just think that's important for us moving forward.
Yeah, and you're right about that. I mean, what do you guys think? The coaching staff, right? Is Taj Gibson going to the coaching staff next year? Because here's the thing, Kenny Payne is gone, right? Still got Taj Gibson here. I forgot the contract we signed with him here.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Well, right. So to me, it's time to move on from Taj Gibson. Let him become a player coach, man. He's already that right now. Again, we need these guys in the locker room. Move on from him. And it also creates more room for, like you said, the guy Hunt. Like, I haven't seen this guy play yet. But if we're really going to build this team, we need a good solid 15 guys. We need 5 on the front line and 5 on that bench that could do the same thing that the first unit is doing. Even our backup. So let's move Taj to the bench now. Whatever deal they work out, saves the Knicks some money and bring in more players, because that's what we need going forward. We need a team like a San Antonio Spurs. Every year since the 90s to 2000s, these guys was in the playoffs. No problem. They was just in there. In there. Small market team, but they were in there. We're New York City. We got to get back to those winning ways where at least we're in the playoffs every single year and got a punch a chance. It makes no sense that one of the biggest cities in the world, and we haven't even made the playoffs. We can't make the playoffs, let alone get past the first round. In over 25, 30 years, it's ridiculous. And right now, someone has to change it, and it's changing right now. Hopefully, with RJ Barrett and the rest of the crew. But it's going to be very interesting this year, man. The summer. This is why I won the biggest Knicks summer, because now we're hyped up. It's more fans than ever. We got all the podcasts talking about it. We're making the status quo go up in New York City as far as New York Knicks basketball. And right now, if they don't get it together, they got to watch out, because you got Brooklyn right there. Right now, Brooklyn Nets is outshining us right now. And we got to get out there ready. We got to take over the city. We got to take it back. We got to take the city back somehow, some way. And I'm looking for big things coming out of New York City this year, guys.
Yeah, real quick. I just wanted to answer Robert's question. Robert said in 20 games without Morant, the Grizzlies are 18-2. Do that make them a better team without Ja? I don't know if it make them a better team. I think what it does to me is that, and the other guys are getting more opportunities, because he's not being the sole, how do I say, the number one guy who actually got the ball in the hand all the time. It's a prime example. Bring it back to Julius Randle. See, Julius Randle and John Morant are the ones who pretty much 9 out of 10 got the ball in their hand all the time, so other guys don't get that opportunity that much. But when they're not in the game, you see other guys, Obi Toppin. When Julius Randle's not playing, Obi Toppin gets more minutes. The Knicks are better. They play better. So, yeah, I mean, in a sense, you could say that. But in the long run, do I think they're a better team without John Morant? I don't think so. I don't think you can lose the talent, that guy that talented, and then say the team is going to be better. That would be like the Kansas City Chiefs losing Hunt. You know what I mean? If they're going to be better without my man at wide receiver. And that's tough, man. That man was putting up numbers. So I do think John Morant, I think they're playing better. They're playing good without him right now, but I don't think they're a better team without him. I would have to go that route, because, like I said, when Julius Randle didn't play the last couple of games, we was 2-0. We looked at better. Yeah. But a better team without Julius Randle is hard to say, because Julius Randle puts up 2010, 2011, and I don't think they empty stats. I just think they it is what it is. But yeah, that's a good question on Robert, man. I appreciate that, man. I'm not that's hard to say. They're playing better without him. They're a better team. That's hard to say.
I tell you what, it's a good one. But you give me a young Morant on this team, I got confidence in him. And also, going to playoffs, you're gonna need that boy Morant. So, I mean, that's a great stat. Kudos to the Grizzlies. That's a great stat. 18-2 without their star player.
Good team. But yeah, that's why I brought up a Shop Powell. That's why I was bringing that up a couple of streams ago. That's the direction I want the Knicks to go. Right. Go the direction like the Memphis Grizzlies. They drafted RJ. They drafted John Morant. They drafted Dylan Brooks. We drafted Mitch. They drafted Brandon Clark. We drafted Dukes. You know, all the guys that they drafted, Bane, right? We drafted Grimes. You know what I mean? They drafted this guy. We drafted quickly. All they did was put in a couple of seasoned vets that kind of fit their timeline, and we're like Milton and all. You got to look how they playing. That's what I think the Knicks need to be on. They need to replicate exactly what the Memphis Grizzlies is doing. Put RJ at the helm, put them dudes around them, which they doing. Because like I said, you do have RJ, you do got Mitchell Robinson, you do got Quickly, you got the guys that hopefully Cam Reddish be one of those guys. We'll be just like the Memphis Grizzlies. I really believe that. So I think that's why I'm looking forward to the off season. Maybe we can shed some of these older contracts and just get in some guys who can really fit the timeline and play with us. And I think that'd be good to go. Shop Powers.
Yeah, I believe the same thing. I believe we need to move forward with a younger core and try to build from within. I say it again. If we could capture these guys that we have now and have them stay together for 3 to 5 years, I think this team will be a team that goes into the playoffs every year. Uh, you know, uh, just, if we can motivate our youth to become young veterans, to keep this core together, keep this nucleus together, and build with the nucleus that we have here now. I believe in by next year, and the years after, we will have a better rounded team that'll be more prepared to sustain some hard some bigger name teams and stuff like that. Our players on our team names don't really quote unquote ring bells, but if we put this team together, the Grimes, the Deuces, the IQs, the RJ, we build this. If we could keep a hold of Mitchell Robinson in the next couple of years, the bigger broadcasters, the ESPNs of the world and stuff like that will really recognize that this team is joint together, and they're trying to make a positive step towards a bigger future. So I'm optimistic once again about the team that we have, and if we could just catch this youth that we have right now and mold them and to years to come, I believe this young core that we have will be a real bright and shining light in New York City.
Hey, Jay, let me ask you a question. If the team keep playing and keep winning, let's say these young guys keep developing, which you guys feeling and which you guys take on Tom Thibodeau? Because 2 weeks ago we wanted to run him out of New York. You know what I mean? Now winning cures all, like I always say. If the Knicks run the table right now, and the young guys is balling the way they go, what's y'all gut feeling on Tib? Do y'all want him back? Or y'all think I had enough of them? Or y'all willing to say, you know what? He made up for what he didn't do by people getting injured and young guys getting opportunity. What's your feelings on Tom Thibodeau?
For me, I think they're gonna retain him. For me, it's very respecting. I think the players respect him. They respect, regardless of what we may see, what we see. Again, Tibbs always said, "I'm in practice with them every day," and to me, the guys respect the man. And he's a young guy, classic guy, and I believe the Knicks like him. They like him, and I don't think. Yeah, some of the things he does with the rotations, we have to change that. I think some of this young core is going to change his mindset, and he did change his mindset as of right now. With the playing the young guys as he wasn't before. I know part of probably Tom Thibodeau probably wants to be like, damn, maybe I should have started playing them young guys 30 games ago. And we wouldn't be in the situation we in now, or we would have been close to it, but we already been in the play-in already. So I got no problems with Tibbs. I think the Knicks is going to keep him, and like you say, it's Devon and Shot. Winning cures everything. Because last year, when Tom Thibodeau won Coach of the Year, we wasn't talking that we gotta get rid of Tibbs, but we didn't care. We just was happy to get in the play in. And again, how bad are we off from this? We started slow, but we're picking up now. We might get we win the rest out. We could go 40 and 42. So guess what? That means if we want to go 40 and 42, we lost in one extra game that we didn't win this year. So how bad can he be compared to all the other coaches we had for the past 20 years with this New York Knicks franchise? I'll take our roll dice and go on Tom Thibodeau.
I'll say this about Tibbs. Aside from some, we all talk about how his rotations and stuff is blended in and stuff like that. But that is, I believe if all right, it's either going to be Tom Thibodeau or Julius Randle. I'm not sure if we will elevate these young guys if we keep Randle with the same coach, and vice versa. I don't think that I think the team will be better if with the young crew if we move on from Randle.
Good point.
So my big thing for the New York Knicks is if Tom Thibodeau was here, we may need to escape ourselves from Julius Randle, because I think the way he's playing these young guys right now, I think this team will blossom under a Tom Thibodeau style of coaching because these guys play for Tom Thibodeau. You see Grind, you see IQ out there playing for Tom Thibodeau. You see uh, uh, when Deuce gets out there, he plays hard. He does put an emphasis on defense and playing uh, box out ball. Like all the team plays the 3-point line, but they crush in for when they go to rebound, and it all will make a big decision for me if Tom Thibodeau. I believe Tom Thibodeau is going to be here next year. I believe that he's going to run out his third year. But if Tom Thibodeau gets the team that he wants instead of the team that they give him, I think Tom Thibodeau will have a way better year with the team. And the big thing with me is if Randall's going to be here. Randall and Tibbs, one of them, one of those guys may have to move a little bit, or because with Randall here and Tom Thibodeau, you know what's going to happen. And with Randall not here, you see how the team works when he plays the guys out here. The 2 games that Randall didn't play, he had those young guys out there running the ball, moving the ball, pushing pace, playing hard defense. And that's one of the things that we have to look for the offseason. If Tom Thibodeau is going to be here, I hope more than likely Randall can be moved on to another team so he can run the team the way he really wants to, instead of have to implement guys in as being that veteran style guy to take away the minutes from the younger core.
Yeah, I think I know it's real interesting because I do believe that, and you brought up a great point. These guys play for him. No matter what we may think, they play for him. They ain't give up. The Knicks could have tapped out a while ago. Think about it. They could have tapped out 3 weeks ago. They still playing hard. They winning. They still competing. And to me, that tells me that that's more about the respect they got for him.
Facts.
This respect they got for Tom Thibodeau, because they see that kid. One thing about Tom Thibodeau, you might see him screaming at them cats on the court, but that man probably got your back more than a lot of people. From what I hear with all these players, he's a likable guy. You might see the fiery Tom Thibodeau on the sideline, but on practice and all that, they say the man he's down to earth and all that stuff. So I think I agree with you 100%. I think if you move on for Randall, I think that might be a little different. And don't get me wrong, Tibb defend all his players. Facts. He don't really defend Randall. He defend all his players, but he also will hold you accountable. And that's what I do like about him. We finally got a coach in New York who holds people accountable. If you're not playing good, like early in the year, don't get me wrong, I get playing the young guys, and I was always for it. But at the same time, if you're not producing, you shouldn't play that game. You know what I mean? Like, and I think he just that's who he was. I seen him early in the year sit Fournier down in the whole fourth quarter one time.
Facts.
I seen him sit
a couple of games.
I seen him sit Fournier in the fourth quarter. Like, dude, the other night, he like, I'm not putting you back in. You ain't got it. Fournier didn't have it the other night. He left him on the bench, and until the only reason he brought him in late in the ball game just in case somebody fouled and had to hit a free throw. But he made Fournier sit that whole fourth quarter the other night. Right. Then Randall. So it's interesting to say, because another reason why I wanted to bring him back, I just don't think it should be a recycled coach thing. You know what I mean? Every 2 years since Mike Woodson left, every 2 years we taking out a coach. That's not healthy. It's not good for organization. It's not good for the players. Look at Frank Ntilikina and them guys. Even though he had like 4 or 5 different coaches. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, like Pip Knox, and they had like 4 or 5 different coaches. And then soon you learn somebody's system 1 year.
Yeah, you got to train yourself to do it again.
You got to do it all over again. And I just don't think that's like, you might as well just be a player. You know what I mean?
I just want to chime in on Big Taz. We can move on for Randall if, let me say this, if Russell Westbrook in the last couple of years have been traded and his contract is $44 million, it shouldn't be a problem of trying to move on from Julius Randle. Julius Randle has a friendly contract, as they would say in the NBA. He'll be making next year, I think, $26 million or something like that. $26 million, and he does have 4 years to go along with it. But what Russell Westbrook, if I'm not mistaken, is making $44 million, and he's been traded. He's
Wait.
been in the $40 million contract for the last 3 teams that he's played for. He's played for the
Houston.
Lakers. He's played for Washington. He's been moved like 3 or 4 times since in his big money making years. So if you really want to get off from a player that you don't think is going to be a productive person off the team, there's some way and somewhere that you can move a player like Julius Randle. His contract is $25 million, $26 million next year, and he is he is a double machine. So would it be hard to do it now because his contract is just getting ready to jump into effect next year? Maybe. It's possible. Some people may sway away from Julius Randle, not for the money, but for the way he's playing the game now. So that might be the harder part of moving him than the money on the books.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why it's easy to move his contract real quick. You know what other team gonna say? It wasn't Julius Randle, it was the Knicks. Because we don't never keep players. So some people might look at it. I guarantee you Mitch Kupchak could take him down in Charlotte right now. He got 23 next year, then it goes to 26, 29. But Julius Randle is worth his contract.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not get it twisted. He worth his money. Julius Randle is worth his money. It's just that, like I said, what went on this year with all the others. That's the only thing I got a problem with is what went on with the fan thing. Other than that, I don't got no problem with Julius Randle. Never did, because Julius Randle can get it popping. But when he on. The cat, he been elevating every year. He been in the league. And this year, only reason Julius Randle numbers not to say this year, because I think when he brought in Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, it messed him and RJ Barrett up for a minute. You know what I mean? And not having roles in them, but yeah, I agree with you, God. I am. That's my thing. I'm more concerned with Mitchell Robinson and Randall, because I think Randall is just easy to get up out of here. I think his contract is friendly, because he like this here. Y'all know me, $1 million a point.
Mm-hmm.
Randall got $20 million. Randall get you 20 million. It get you 20 points. Period. And I think he never wavered from that with the 10 assists. He just got to go to a place where he's gonna go and he be a little bit more comfortable. Listen, I would have had no problem with Randall coming back to the Knicks, guys. No whatsoever. I just think because of the fan thing, it just makes it hard. It ain't about Julius Randle to me. It's not about his numbers. And I'm gonna have to keep repeating that. It ain't about his numbers. It ain't about his skill. It ain't about that. I just think that the fan base about to tap out, and every time he go through a slump, we're gonna hear this stuff.
Oh, they go rip him.
It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it for him. It's not worth it for us. It ain't got nothing to do with his numbers, because Julius Randle worth that money he gave the Knicks gave him. And I don't have no problem with the contract the Knicks gave Julius Randle. He worth it. But now that now this situation happened, is just different. But I think it's easy to move. I had a problem with KJ. I think you can move Randle in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where these last 5 or 6 games that we have is a very important piece going into next year, because are they going to look about these tapes? They're going to say, all right, well, who's with us and who's not with us? How did this person play these last 5 games, knowing that it may not be a chance we can make the playoffs this year? Who are we taking with us to the place that we're trying to go as a franchise, right? They're looking at this team. They're looking at these tapes. And my thing is, based on the tape, the things that we see, the body lanes with Julius Randle, that's not a guy that I can go into the foxhole with, that is going to have my back, based on, because you might be upset because of what the fans saying or what's happened, or because what the fans of Obi, RJ. It's not about you. It's about team basketball. You can't, if put like this, we the old saying, can Michael Jordan win a championship by himself? Can LeBron James win a championship by himself? Can Magic Johnson win a championship by himself? We can go on and on and on. So it's one of those things that, old school stuff, like, hey, man, we told you so. We told you so. So, and right now I'm not seeing that from Julius Randle. Again, Divine and Sha, like you say, D, we're not saying Julius Randle is a bad player. We know what he can give you every night. But it's like building a puzzle. If you don't got the right piece in that puzzle, it ain't going to fit. And right now, the piece is just not fitting with him on this team.
Yeah, I agree. I know, like I said, just to make we get into something else, but I just think you move Julius Randle because if you can get a player that could do what Julius Randle do, then it's not a loss. If you can get a point guard in here that can affect the Knicks the way Julius Randle do, you can always go get a power forward. That's the easiest. A wing is that. How many power forwards come? I mean, how many wings coming out of college? Man, that's a lot of them. I mean, the whole league is a wing-driven league. So my thing is, if you get a point guard, a bona fide point guard in a trade for Randle, you make the trade. Randle, it's about the name on the front of the jersey, not the back. It ain't about that. It's about this. It don't matter what's on the back of that jersey. It's about this right here. And if you can bring a player here that can give you the number that Julius Randle can give you, and you won't have to go the next 4 years with the up and down fan reaction and all that, then what's the big deal? It's not about Julius Randle being a bad player. But I just don't think it's going to work out. I just don't think it's going to work. And like I said, there's too much drama right now. Like when you start to see the media nitpick, and they're not saying they nitpicking, but they pointing out everything. Like the other night when he threw the ball, the game over, you walk right past the ref, get a ref the ball, man. Just get a ref the ball. Just get a ref the ball. The game is over. I know you're frustrated. Just get a ref the ball. But no, what does he do? He slings it all the way down court. You know, if that's gonna be Julius Randle for the next 4 years, he would not last here. He would not last in New York City, bro, because every time it's gonna be a dart thrown at the board. You know what I mean? KJ and Shaw, every time he do something, they go to dartboard, boom, 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 they're throwing darts at him, you know, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't care how good a player is. You know, listen, a lot of great players came to New York and had to leave because of stuff like this. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's an exception to the rule. I like Julius Randle, but I do think I do think that the good thing about it, his skill is there. His skill is there. He got the skill to earn that contract. Like I said, you could put him somewhere, and then he might be better off. Like I said, it might be better not only for him, KJ, and Chop Power. It might be better for his family.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not only about Julius Randle. What about his wife, his kids? You know what I mean? How they gonna feel if I come home from work, the fan base are ripping, I'm coming home and I'm miserable because I'm bringing that work, the shit that happened at work home to the house.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, it's not worth it. You know, he's a human being like everybody else. His job make millions. Ours don't make millions, but he's still a human being. He still got feelings and emotions he got to deal with. You know what I mean? If he have a bad day at work, you come home, you know, your wife will be like, "What's wrong with you today?" Well, just picture him on that level. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I just say, you know, get ahead and move him to keep his sanity and keep the Knicks fan base sanity, man. It ain't gonna work, bro. I think that shit is selling, and it happens to the best of them. I've seen people trying to run Carmelo. I've seen people try to run all these cats up out of New York because, you know, it's just tough for him, man. I feel, but let's hope like I said, hope tonight he go down there and drop 20. I hope Julius Randle come out tonight and drop 40. I don't have a problem with Julius Randle's talent. He's a gifted dude, man. He's a really gifted dude. He's been working hard all his career to get to where he was at. It's just unfortunate. You know what? It's gonna be hard. You think about this here too. How do you think Julius Randle will feel from the other game? The fan base like, oh, Jay, he used to be the king of New York. Now he's the Joker. The king of New York to the Joker. That's how they feel about him. So I'm like, yeah, and Gotham City that they done turned them into Batman to the Joker, bro. So, you know, yeah, you're right, D. Right, hey, there you go. He did. Hey, D. Nice. That was a good analogy. Most jobs you lash out, you get fired. Real talk. That's 100. Go out there and you get fired. That was a good analogy, brother. Salute. He did bring it on himself, man. Nobody, you know, you can't blame nobody for what he did. Because think about it. If none of this would have happened, if it wouldn't have happened, and he wouldn't have said STUA, we probably even even having a conversation. Think about it. Either some job you actually get an Oscar. Yeah, you ain't lying, but he smacked the crowd up. But that wasn't his job, though.
Hey, man. Hey, look.
That's real talk. That was a good one, my brother. Real.
Hey, listen, it all goes back to that saying, guys. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Facts.
You good.
You know, and Julius, my thing is, you know what you signed that contract. You know, it's New York City basketball. We're going to, when we're winning, we all get, We win it, we happy, cool, but whatever, we happy. But when we lose it, it's a little rough. And yes, we're going to analyze it. But the one thing we're going to look at is the body language. And if we can see the body language from the TV screen, imagine how with the other players may not, they might not, we ain't gonna say nothing. They might not even say nothing, especially the rookies, they ain't gonna say nothing to him. But my thing is, look, if we can see it, Shad Devon, you can see it, that it ain't working. I know that front office got to see the same thing. Now it's, hey, this is what you guys get paid for. Figure it out the best way you can. Or you're going to have a disgruntled star. It's nothing like being disgruntled at a workplace. Imagine you go to work every single day, wherever you guys work at and women work at. You the star, whatever, or whatever. You've been there for years. Some new person comes in, you got all the accolades, you got everything in, and they come in, they making more money than you. You're a little upset, right? You're like, damn, what am I going to do? Oh, they're going to try to replace me. They're trying to do this. Think about it. Julius may have some of that going on, but you could be the team player and say, you know what? I'm going to sit back and I'm going to help build. I'm going to help build. I know they're not going to get rid of me, right? But at the end, it's in the back of my mind. Guess what? They could be thinking about it. So right now, I think it's just a mind thing. Is one of them things going on with it. And I think the front office and probably most likely they're gonna have these talks, whatever. What's the long-term goal for Julius? Can we those talk? They should have had those talks last year if they didn't have it. So that's where I'm at.
They definitely have it right now. I mean, the things that's going on right now in New York with the hoopla and everything that's been said about Julius Randle, his the way he's putting himself forward out there like that, and the way he's acting is something that the front office is probably looking at. Now, is Julius Randle going to be here next year? None of us really know right now what can happen with Julius Randle. But for us as New Yorkers, as us as for fans of the New York Knicks, if they don't move on for Julius Randle, this summer they will try to move on from Julius Randle right after the new year, because if Julius Randle doesn't come out and put the effort out like as he done in the year prior, um, us as New York Knicks fans, man, we are hard, man. We are rough, and a lot of the things that go back and forth about how they went after his family, how they talked about his wife and stuff like that. That's not the whole 100% of the New York Knicks. That's a small percentage, maybe 2 to 5% or something like that. But those 2 to 5% of the people that are doing that is going to ramp it up. It's going to make it even harder. It's going to make it even harder for him to want to come out there and play. And he's not going to be a professional anymore. He's going to be, every night that he goes out there, he's going to have something on his shoulder that he has to go out and prove himself. And that's hard for somebody. Like you said, the crown. You wear that crown, man, it's going to be real. Everything is going to be solely focused on you. So wherever Julius and the front office decide to do, I hope it's for the benefit of Julius and his family.
Right.
No one, the way that I think about where he said that, shut the F up. I wasn't hurt by it. You know what I mean? Because I know when you watch the clip when he did it, he was talking to a group of people that was on the sideline, was probably all on him. Some of those fans that just depict real badness and throwing slangs at you and saying stuff at you and throwing things at you and stuff like that. So should he have reacted that way? I don't know. I wasn't in the position. I don't know what he could have did, but what comes from what he did from that point is why we're talking about if he's going to leave right now from the New York Knicks, and that is a big thing right now. This New York Knicks base is, if I believe, is one of the biggest fan bases that I've seen. I don't see the big LA. I mean, they have a lot of players, but when you go to a New York Knicks game in Miami, you see a lot of New York Knicks fans. When you go to New York, when you go to Atlanta, you see a lot of New York Knicks fan. When you go to South Carolina, when you go to the Hornets game, you see a lot of New York Knicks fan, and so on and so forth about New York Knicks and the playing up the East Coast. So it's not just this New York base right here. From right now, just seeing us on the board. I'm from New York. KJ is from New Jersey, and Divine lives,
From New
you know,
Jersey.
it's in the South. You know what I mean? So all of us right now, just to talk about the way New York fans are. You know, a lot of New York fans come from New York, but they spread out, and we go all over the place. And New York, to me, if when you put that New York jersey on, that's one of the heaviest jerseys that you could put on in the NBA, that I believe, because there's no fan base as big as the New York Knicks fan base that really represents for the New York Knicks. If you just look on the internet and stuff like that, there has to be at least, I could think of 30 off the top of my head, 30 podcasts that are New York Knicks
Right.
based right here. You don't see that from Chicago. You don't see that from Milwaukee. You don't see that from San Antonio. We are one of the biggest fan bases for Knicks basketball, the football, for anything that comes out of New York. We have a very big, strong base, man. So uh, Julius Randle and his family and the front office have to make a decision on how he can live out the rest of this his season. I mean, not this season, his contract. And if Julius decides that he does still want to stay here and play for this New York Knicks base, you're gonna have to put on some. You're gonna have to put on some bulletproof vests. You're gonna have to put on some metal helmet and all that stuff, because as soon as it goes wrong, tonight is going to be one of those games that when we come back on, if Julius is not having a good game, you
Oof.
are going to hear it tonight. I already know you are going to hear it so much tonight. So let's see what happens with Julius Randle and how his contract ends up and where he'll be next year.
Yeah. You know, he got a lot to deal with, man.
Yes,
But like somebody said, he brought it on himself. Like
facts. He did.
brought it on himself. The smacking the computer, the he's throwing people arms away from you.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not nobody doing that to him. Sometimes you got to hold yourself. You got to own up to your own doing. You know what I mean? You got to face the music sometimes. Like, you know what? I screwed up. You know, that was me. You can't blame that on nobody else. You shouldn't. I'm not saying that he's doing it. I'm just saying, but it's not. It is on him. You know what I mean? So hopefully he get it together. If he's gonna be a Nick next year, I want to. He got to change that way of thinking. You know, he got to change getting in the lane, spinning among three people, creating crazy turnovers when he don't need them. You gotta be able to say, you know what, I'm not just gonna just grab defensive rebounds. If Mitchell Robinson can grab offensive rebound, why you can't grab him? You can't just grab a rebound because you know it's right there by you because you're standing by the basket. You gotta be able to do a lot of other things, man. That to me, like I said, yeah, 20 and 10 is good. But sometimes, you know, you look at some of Julius being on the rebound, that's what you're supposed to do. You get a defense rebound, the ball comes to the rim, you grab it. But what about when RJ misses a shot? What about when Fournier misses a shot or whatever? Or you run into the basket like Mitchell Robinson and help him grab them rebounds. You know what I mean? It's bigger than just the 2010. I mean, it's a part of the whole thing to me that with Julius Randle, the turnovers he got to work on. He's not selfish. One thing I can honestly say about Julius Randle, he is not selfish. And that's real talk. He's not a selfish ball player, but he's trying to take it upon himself at times to win games where you don't need to. Remember when Michael Jordan came off the from playing baseball, had a double nickel in the Garden. What the last shot he had? He wasn't a shot, it was a pass.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying? It was
To
a
the
pass.
big man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. And sometimes don't try to let Fournier hit the last shot. Let RJ hit the last shot. Don't put it all on yourself, and then you won't have all this issue. Because the more pressure you put on yourself, the more pressure you got to deal with, Julius Randle. And I just think that if you're going to be here in New York next year, which I doubt it, guys. I mean, I just my personal opinion. I don't think you can come back from this. I just
I
don't.
don't think so either.
Too much. It's too much. It's too much for the next 4 years. There's no way this fan base, not New York fans.
Mm-mm.
Hey, I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm gonna see going into next year. I don't think Julius Randle will be here pretty soon after a couple more years because I don't think he's going to be able to last here.
I see it on looking through the internet and all this stuff. They have made a new name for Julius Randle now. They call him redacted. And I said that like when I heard the name, some of these guys that talk about him call him redacted, and I understand why they're doing it. I understand why that because Julius puts himself out there for him to be ridiculed. I hate to say it like that, by doing the thumbs down. This year he has been fined $200,000. You know what I mean? He has 12 or 13 technical fouls this year. I think he is the highest paid player. I mean, he is the highest. He paid the highest amount of money this year for being in being ejected, the technical fouls and stuff like that. That's a big chunk of money, man. $200,000, man. I mean, for him, making multi-million dollars, maybe 200,000 is not a lot, but that's a big piece of change, man. And if he can't change his outward look for the New York base, then it's time for him to go, because the New York fan base is not going to stop. They're not going to stop. If you out there and you're not playing, and a Knicks fan don't think that you're playing up to where he should be playing, then the Knicks fans will turn on you just like night and day, man.
Yeah, and let me make this point. I got a real plan for y'all. And regardless if he not even good as nowhere near good as Julius Randle, I'm gonna bring this up for this reason. You know why the Knicks fan base loved the Frank Ntilikina?
Defense.
Even killing the professional. Came to work every day, didn't complain about nothing, didn't mope or grind, didn't do nothing, took it for what it was. And Frank Ntilikina is beloved in New York City. You know why? Because that man just came to work and just did his job. He didn't complain about nothing. He didn't do that. But I'm just trying to use that as an example where sometimes that's why I like about RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett come to work. I don't care if he have a bad night. He stay even keel. He don't say it's this guy fault because I didn't do this game. He know what he say. I got to get better, or I got to work on my free throws, or I'm pissed off at the way I'm shooting free throws. He holds himself accountable. You know what I mean? And he don't get mad at the reps. Like listen, man. That's one thing. Another thing I would like to see him do. Yeah, I understand that. I get it, Lawaz. That's true. But you know what? Man, that young man came here. I mean, coming from across seas, man, no family in New York City.
Didn't speak that much English.
Big Apple, you know what I mean? Coming out of France, coming to a big city like this here, 5 different coaches, organization in turmoil, that every different managers and GMs. Some of these guys, I think him and Frank Knox and them just got dealt a bad hand in New York. They didn't have nobody to back them up, man. And I think that's one thing. But what I'm saying is, for Julius Randle, he just got to come in next year if he's going to be here. Forget all the noise. Stop complaining to the refs. Every time you turn around, this guy blaming the ref because he didn't get a call. I mean, it started at every. Watch every other play. If it don't go his way, he got to go at the refs. Come on, dude. Then you start to look like Luka Doncic now.
You seen that the last game, man. He grabbed the rebound and he's complaining about grabbing the rebound as he go up court. Then he get attacked.
Yeah.
And his text ain't no $2,000 now. He's up in $8,000 a tech now.
Yeah, I agree with you a lot. While they will be playing in probably France soon, but it's not here or there. They still was good people though. You know what I mean? They was good people. Knox, they was good people. I'm not really even talking about their talent. I'm talking about who they were as a person. The way they represented this fan base. You never seen Knox getting out of when he didn't get no playing time. Even though he wasn't worthy about it, you never seen him complaining. You never seen him being other than themselves or acting just. I just think that sometimes you got to have dignity in class when you're dealing with certain things, because you know what, it might didn't work here and it might not work there. Your talent might not be Italian, might not be good enough, but at least they carry themselves the right way. You know what I mean? And I think that's more important when you deal with people who carry themselves in the right manner. You know what I mean? And don't make a fool of yourself sometimes. Julius Randle right now, I hate to say it, making a fool of himself, but we're gonna get out of here because it's time to get it popping.
Yeah.
Let's do this prediction thing. Good game, tight game. I'm going Knicks 120, Charlotte 110. I think that's gonna be high tonight.
115, 100 for me. 115, 100. New York Knicks.
I'm going a little lower than that. I think it's going to be 108 to 100. I think it's going to be a more defensive game this time. I don't think they're going to run up and down like they did the last time. I think it's going to be more prone to defense this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Real talk, man. I think Charlotte defense like the last game. They don't got their defense is suspect, bro. They don't outscore you. So yeah, I'm gonna go 120, 110. I've been missing about 3 or 4 points here and there. I've been pretty good so far. I didn't hit one on the nail on the head yet. The closest was Allah Wide. Allah Wide had a prediction the other, I think last week or something, damn near right on spot on almost. So but let's see if the Knicks can go get it, man. Great show, man. I know we talked about Julius Randle, but it's important though, because it's a big topic. He's our franchise guy right now, man. No, we don't want to, we didn't want to just have a because we know what it's going to be like tonight. If that happens, that's going to be part of the conversation. So we just want to get the conversation started. So when the night when y'all be able to talk about it, we could say, yeah, we talked about that earlier. So that guy said that and it came to fruition. D Nice said this and look what happened, or Allah Y said this. So we just like to put it out there, man, because that's going to be a major thing moving forward, guys. This Julius Randle situation. Let's keep an eye on it. Salute to the chat. Salute to all my brothers and sisters in there, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Knicks Real Talk, the chat, everybody, man. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy that game, man. I got Knicks 125. What I said, 120, 110. Let's go New York. Let's go. KJ, my man. Y'all got any last word before we get about?
Hey, Devon, thanks as always. Salute to the chat. Hey, and pay attention to Julius Randle game tonight.
Thanks. Salute to you, KJ. Salute to you, Devon. The chat is where it's at. Once again, watch that the matchup tonight is just Julius Randle. Let's see what he does tonight.
And Bridges gives him problems all the time they play, so watch out for that.
Ooh, 135, 80.
Hey, I want to see Julius drop 30 tonight. 30 and 15. Go get it, Julius Randle. Don't play. We might be talking about things, but you still a Knick, brother. Go get that.
D-Boss, I'm with you, man.
65 points from Randle.
I'm with you, D-Boss.
We still going to trade. We do that.
Yo, appreciate everybody. Y'all have a good one, man. Enjoy. Damn, D-Rock. Damn, D-Rock.
Yeah.
Man, that score for 2 games? Yo, peace, everybody, man. Salute everybody. Salute to the chat, man. Y'all be good, man. I'll see y'all cats later, man. Tomorrow night post game, man. Y'all look us up, man. Knicks Real Talk. We in the building, man. Yo, peace, everybody. Enjoy.
Let's get it.